Hi, I'm gonna just jump right into the topic. First of all, I can't force you to wake up. If you choose to stay asleep, that's on you. But I have the feeling that most people watch my channel are actually really into self-development. And for a good reason. Because whenever we work on ourselves, so many doors open up for us. So many more opportunities come our way and we're able to grasp them. So one of the main issues with working on ourselves is, and the main devil of society in my eyes, is repression. When we're traumatized from a young age, we have learned that it's best to run away from it all, you know? We don't want to be reminded of our past and what have shaped us, truly, because we're rejecting it. And I believe depression and anxiety is mainly rooted in a severe lack of acceptance, a pronounced resistance, and a rejection of just everything that happened to us and everything that's going on around us. And then we suppress our true selves, or even we're not allowed to develop our true selves. And then we create a new identity. And it can be anything. It can be a dark personality, rebellious, that's just hating everything, and it can be anything really. Or you can be toxically positive all the time. So many people don't want to realize that their true selves is not there. We're not connected to it at all. So that's why it's important to talk about these things. It's important to develop. And we're always developing, we're always changing. That's why we're alive. How do we realize something that we don't want to realize? Well, you have to let go of your tight grip. You have to... It's almost a little bit like jumping out of an airplane, which I would never do, I'm pretty sure. But in your mind, that's how it feels like. And you have to be brave enough to do so. There's really no other way than just to jump into it, to dive deeper into our minds. And that's why so many people will say meditation is the first thing to do, or taking mushrooms or something. So you're forcing yourself to let go of your ego a little bit so you can step back and observe. And that's the main key here. All you have to do is to simply observe. Observe your own mind. It's really as simple as that. Even though it's not easy, it's simple. Find and communicate with your inner child. Otherwise, you will miss all of the little beautiful things in this world. And, you know, I'm not gonna blame you, but you're just dead inside if you can't see the beauty in this world and the amazingness of existence. you actually need to go back to the uncomfortable part of your life, because you have to identify what were you doing before all of this negative influence. Like, where was your mind? What were you focused on? What did you enjoy? And be like a child again, in a way. Be curious, be open, and most of all, observe yourself. Be real with yourself. You know, it's really interesting if you go back to your roots and find out what you actually value in life. And it makes a lot of sense why we may be angry and overthinking, because we want to find solutions. But the issue with that is, if you don't take enough action, you will feel subconsciously you're betraying yourself and your values. And that's when you start feeling negative things, like, you're gonna be depressed because you are actually the one forcing yourself to be still. And no, I don't subscribe to the idea that you just become depressed somehow and then you're doomed forever. That's only the case if you let it happen, if you don't want to change. Because we're not supposed to be apathetic and sit back and do nothing when we're not happy. We're supposed to think about a solution and go for it. That's just the truth, because as soon as you start doing these things, and maybe you have to force yourself a little bit, you're gonna notice how good it is for you and for everybody else. So at least once a week, I just dedicate a day like this where I go outside and I tackle many things. I show myself some love by dressing up a bit, doing my makeup in a nice way, just to make me feel good. I don't even care about the other people, and you can think what you want, but I really don't. I don't think I'm dressed in a very conformative way, I don't care about blending in anymore. I really don't. And this goes along with really seeing how people demonize self-love, I think, because they're gonna say, how dare you be happy when I'm not. They're not gonna say it, but they're gonna think that way. It's just sad, it's sad, the state of humanity now, but I'm not going to subscribe to that anymore. I'm unsubscribing. I'm unsubscribing to this limited belief system and just complaining and not doing anything. The way of change is not to feel like a victim all the time, is to collectively wake up and see what's not working. And you know what? A lot of people think it's out of their control because they blame things on money or the rich people or something, outside forces, right? But what are you doing actually? You're just complaining all the time. And I've known people like this, and I've been this person as well. We have to realize that all of our problems in life and in society stem from mental health issues. So the only solution is to take control of your mental health. And the only way to do that is to be the observer of your mind, And then you're going to be a positive influence to other people. You're not going to change people, like you can't force them to do anything or to even listen to you, but you can at least oppose toxic things. You can speak your mind, you can stand up for yourself, and that will teach people that it's okay to do that. We just need to get real. We really do. And also I want to touch on one thing. If you want to deny that the way you treat yourself does anything, it's really dangerous. It's a really dangerous world if you become a zombie that is just fueled with toxic mind and toxic food and toxic everything. You have to move, you know. You have to get out and get some sun, get some vitamin D. 50% of our dopamine is made in our guts. So if you don't fuel your body, you're 50% less happy. Do you know how much 50% is? Just imagine if you could improve your life even by 20%. So you can improve your life by 50%, your mood, your overall happiness. I just don't get why people don't do that. And at a certain point, when you realize how these things are harming you, you just lose the taste for it, you know, you just lose the taste and the appetite for all of these unhealthy things. And it's hard, you know. I'm outside and I had to bring a sandwich because they're just pushing it on us. Because it's laziness, you know. It's just laziness. It's just laziness because cooking takes time. And yeah, it's not only laziness, maybe it might be privilege as well if you have the privilege to have time to cook every day, but it's your priorities, you know, because we sit on our phones each and every day for hours on end. Even if you think you're only taking a few little breaks here and there, just look up. Most phones have an app or something that tells you how much time you actually spend on your phone and what you're doing. And if you do that, you can easily get a few hours out of that just by controlling yourself a little bit more, putting in a little effort to replace it with something healthy like walking, dancing, singing. You know, these things really help your mental health. And obviously it helps your everything. The difference of taking an hour a day to cook something healthy is 50% improvement in your life. Just think about that. It's just crazy. And you know, there were just some kids driving by shouting something because they looked at me filming myself. And you really, in that sense, look, in the past, I would turn to become a people pleaser because of how people treated me. Because it started with my household, really, because that's kind of what I had to do. And I didn't want to become a bully myself. But now, at least in my mind, I really reject these people. Like, I don't care about these people. And I allow myself to have this disdain for these people. Like, you are weak. You're sad. You're sorry. You're a sorry person. If you look at other people doing something positive and you're like bitter about it, and you're a kid, like your parents don't love you. I mean, I was in the same boat, but for me there was never reason to be like that, you know. It's just really sad, and I pity these people. I really do. And I went through so much shit, but I'm just so grateful I didn't turn out this way. But we still need to be careful not to be like sitting on a high horse and being like, oh, I'm better than others and stuff, because it's just fueling negativity. You have to detach from that. You have to call it out. reject it even. But it doesn't work in an unconscious, subconscious way. It doesn't. You're just suppressing. That never works. That's the whole point of this video. You have to step back, be an observer, and be a neutral observer, and then form your opinions afterwards, and reevaluate your values and live your values. So yeah, I wish you a wonderful day. I'm gonna maybe attach some nice footage, some B-roll for your pleasure. And like the video and subscribe if you find it helpful, because we need more voices like me, because most people don't really want to touch on the truth, and they want to coddle people and be like, oh yeah, just, you know, sit back and do nothing and just tell yourself you're amazing while sitting in your own filth, really. And I'm talking figuratively, I'm not talking in a physical sense, although well, I could clean up my room as well, but yeah. See you. Speak to you soon.